Welcome home. This is the Irish Roots Cafe, where every day's a holiday and there's always room for one more. Come right this way, have a seat with me today in the corner booth celebrating our 58th week. We've got another full house today, not a square to spare. I'm Mike OLaughlin, your host. Reach me on my webpage at irishroots.com, where you can check out the written show notes on my blog, take a look at all of our books and publications, and get some free help for tracing those Irish ancestors if you've got a mind to. Yes, it's another free service from the Irish Roots Cafe. Hey, and you can also phone 816-256-3360 and leave your comments. Leave a note about your family search. We'll play that to get you some help. Or leave a song or a recitation that you want to go on our Song or Recitation podcast. Or even talk about the history of the Irish in your locality. We'll use that on one of our other podcast series. Try it, you'll like it. We can make a difference together, folks. Among today's topics, Kane is the family name of the week, Kane. 50 Leaplings in Ireland. The Clare Genealogical Centre is the website of the day. Searching for Kelley, Russell, and McMahon. County Clare Genealogy and Family History is the book of the month. And is there such a thing as Irish family tartans? Or do shamrocks have 3 leaves or 4? We'll answer all these questions and more in this episode of the Irish Roots Cafe. Be sure to visit our main podcast page. You can check out all 3 podcast series we've got and not miss a one. I'll be talking about that in a little bit too. We're, right about now, we're preparing for St. Patrick's Day, and that entails a whole lot. I'm going to have a separate blog put out on some thoughts on St. Patrick's Day, but please remember 2 things. Number 1, a shamrock has 3 leaves and not 4, as far as we're concerned. And remember that there's no such thing as an Irish family tartan. I've been talking about that for at least 10 years. I forget when that old book came out saying that there was such a thing. But they were doing it to sell you tartans, so a wise man is not parted with his penny there. Note number 2, be sure to catch our last 2 Chat and Sing episodes from the Irish Song and Recitation podcast. We caught Connie Dover 2 weeks in a row, and this week she sings a little bit from Anspalpeen Fana, and she shares some history with us. And that would include maybe a little rattlesnake fritters and moose stew. Listen in and find out. Well, what have we got now? County Clare Genealogy and Family History. That's going to be the book of the week. That's one of the 5 new ones we got, with a full-color map of County Clare on the front from the 1800s. And it's got so many places on it, you're going to have to get a magnifying glass out to look at it all. But if you're looking to spot where your home's from, that's a nice way to do it. And it's easier to tell when it's in color. It also has different colors for the different baronies, so it helps you plot out the county a little easier. Let's take a few extracts from that book to help the folks from Clare. And of course, as you know, my ancestors on the OLaughlin side came from County Clare. That would be from Kilfenora. And what are some of the other popular names there? Second only in importance to OLaughlin. We've got McMahon, MacNamara, Molony, O'Brien, McInerney, Kelley, Keane, Murphey, Griffin, Halloran, Ryan, Lynch, and Clancy. And those, just name a few. Those are the most popular from the 1890 birth index, which tells you who was there around the time of the famine, most of them. And the library source, one of the library sources in that book, to give you an example, is the County Clare Library, or the Clare County Library. Local Studies Center. It's in the Manse, Harmony Row, Innis, County Clare, Ireland. I stopped there my very first trip to Ireland, found some information, and their holdings include poor law records, maps, newspapers, and they also have an excellent online resource on their webpage, and that's at www.clarelibrary.ie. and their emails on the blog. Just click the link, it'll take you there. Coming up later this episode, what is the Father Ted Festival in Kilfenora County, Clare? My old hometown. What's happening there now? Sounds pretty modern to me. Time now to move on to the member search list. What have we have today? We usually take 5, 6, 7 things each week. Let's reach into the box here. The old hopper. What do we have? Okay, new member Helen Edwards of Victoria, Canada. She's searching for Bernard Kelley and Sarah Russell from Langfield County, Tyrone, and for the McMahon family from Armagh. Well, I wanted to let you know, Helen, that your free Passengers from Ireland book and the County Tyrone Genealogy book has shipped. James Cavini of Clarkston, Georgia, your Tribes and Customs of the High Mini has shipped. And I wonder if you can read Gaelic, because if you can, you got twice the book for your money, because the left-hand side is Gaelic and the right-hand side is in English. Good luck to you on that. Number 3, Martin Lynch of County Carlow, Ireland. Your County Roscommon Genealogy and Family History Notes book has shipped. Number 4, new member Renee Wright of North Fork, Florida. Your free beginner's guide has shipped. Number 5, that'll do it for the day. Kelly Hake of Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Your books have shipped, including the Book of Irish Families Great and Small and the County Cork Genealogy Notes. That reminds me to say thank you to all of you members, because without you we couldn't be doing this, and we do accept donations, and sponsors are welcome. Remember, you can phone 816-256-3360. Leave a little bit about your family search and I'll play it on the show here. Maybe we'll scare up some help for you. And remember, it may not come in the next week. It might be next year, but people still listen all year long because we're posted on the web 24 hours a day. Time now to move on to the Irish family name of the week. And that name this week would be Kane, spelled with a K-A-N-E. And today's family history is in honor of member Kathy Cooper of Galway Road in County Galway, Ireland. And Kathy says that she's searching for her family who lived in County Derry till the famine in the 1840s when they moved to Scotland. And the family is the Kanes and the Cullens. And remember, we'll be covering more families as time goes on. Just a few of them are the Monroe and Daly and Kurgan and Fitchie and Greenfield and Fitzgerald and Keeley and Tyrrell. And we may not have a lot on all of them, but we'll at least give them a mention here and see what we can dig up quickly. Now, if we move on to Kane and we look at the different spellings of the name, I remember my first time I took a group to Ireland, there was a fella searching, there was a whole family searching Kane. And we get off the bus in different areas, stopping for lunch or talking to people. And some people would say Kane and other people would say Cahan. And it got confusing after a while, but we sorted it out. By the end of the trip, we all knew all the different little pronunciations from the different parts of the country for a name like this. And, of course, we figured that there was more than one original family, but it sure made it interesting. And you had to add a southern accent to all that, too, and I tell you, it was a lot of fun. Now, that name, according to the Master Guide to the Various Spellings of Irish Family Names, that's one of our books, it can be spelled as Kane with a K or Kane with a C, or it can be spelled as C-A-H-A-N, which could be Kane or Kahan or Kahan. And you can add an E to Kahan, and it'd be Kahan. Now, you can also put an E to the end of the name spelled with a K, so it could be K-A-I-N-E, or you put a Mick in front of it and it's McCain. Wonder if that'd be a relation to our Republican nominee. And, of course, you can also find it as O'Kane, O-K-A-N-E. So there's no lack of the name in the records, that's for sure. And we find it in variant spelling groups number 663, 971, 974, 1670, and 2460. Now let's take a look at the history of the name itself from the Book of Irish Families Great and Small. And like we mentioned there, it says it comes from a group of names that sound real familiar and similar, but they're not necessarily related, and they can come from all over the island of Ireland. And you can sure understand the confusion when you look at those spellings. The C can be interchanged with a K. You can add or take off an E on the end. Now, the name Cahan is said to be used interchangeably in Ireland, and an interesting account of that and of the family in general can be found in a book entitled The Ulster Clans by the Reverend Mullen, and that was published in Belfast in 1966. Now, if we go to the 1890 birth index, Kane with a K is given as being a name of County Antrim, centered there, and also in Londonderry and Dublin. Now, Kane with an O, O'Kane, is found in the census of 1659 in Antrim, and in 1890 in Londonderry and Antrim. Now, taking a look at it with the O prefix, you'll also find it given as an ancient Irish family of the High Neil tribe in Londonderry and Tyrone. So we're starting to see a pattern there for one of the most well-known branches of the name. You'll also find McCain, M-C-K-A-N-E, listed in the 1890 birth index, and that has about 8 births given of it by that name, that spelling, and over half of those were in Ulster. And you take a look at the Irish Book of Arms, and it gives the family of Kane of Drumreask in County Monaghan. Now, in America today, the name ranks as the 483rd most popular according to some sources, and they say that there'd be about 52,000 family members now. You take a look, boy, you can find the name all over the place. Several Joseph Kanes are given under the grantees of estates under the Williamite confiscations from the work of John O'Hart. And you'll also find the illustration of the coats of arms for Kane of Drumreask, County Monaghan, and that shows 3 fish. I think there's 3 fish. Those fish are probably salmon, if I know the Irish history well. They're sitting there on the shield. That sort of tells you something. And that's with the K-A-N-E spelling. Now, if we take a look at the Free Master Index Search of Irish Family Names on the webpage, we'll find that the name spelled with a K comes up 105 times. That automatically tells you that there's a lot of information on this family. Let's take a look at what books that name was included in. Of course, there's probably 40 or 50 books we've got that in, but just take a look at a couple of them. Kane and McCain are given in the birth index, like we said. You can also find it in several of our county books, including the families of County Galway. It's also found 7 times in the Names of Irish Passengers to America. And like I think we mentioned earlier, O'Kane is found in the 1659 census. Little surprising, the Irish families on the California Trail book had 10 of the name. I wasn't aware of that many when I was putting that book together, but boy, those Kanes are really in there. And then lastly, but not leastly, the Annals of Ireland by the Four Masters has about 15 listings of the name, and that includes cryptic entries like Kane attacks Derry, Kane of Dalriada, and Kane of Tyrone, and Kane's Priory. Sounds like there's a history of the family in the Annals of Four Masters, which means this family must have been pretty well known in the old days. Let's move on now to the website of the week. Well, the website this week's going to be the Clare Heritage and Genealogical Centre. That's the first center I ever stopped at, and they were just getting, old Nacy Clary was just putting up the taking measurements and sending them off of the cases he was going to have to store things in. And old Nacy invited me into his house and gave me something to warm me up on a wet day and talked to me a little bit about Irish history. So I'll sure never forget the Clare Heritage Centre. And this was before it really got set up and going. It, of course, is the Genealogical Research Centre for County Clare, Ireland, and it's located in Corofin. And this webpage includes a map of Clare, some of the place names and surnames that are found, and also a list of some famous folk from County Clare. And they'll even show you a sample of a family history report, so you'll have a little idea of what you get if you decide to order something from them. And they also say that their center is open year-round from Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. And you can email them. I'll have the link on the webpage. Just click on that link and you should be ready to go. Well, let's move on to curious news and notes. Well, what do we see here popping up again in the news? The motorway near Tara desecrates sacred landscape. And here we have poet and Nobel laureate Seamus Heaney said so, and that was in a BBC documentary on Radio Ulster just a day or two ago. And you can see more about that in the Irish Times newspaper online. Let's see, here's another interesting story. 50 Leaplings in Ireland. Now, you probably wouldn't know what a Leapling was if it wasn't leap year. But they say that a bumper crop of Leaplings arrived in Ireland on February the 29th, and they won't have another birthday until 2012. Boy, they'll be awful young according to their ID, that's for sure, when they get to be about 50. That'd be interesting. How's that work? I wonder if legally they have to declare all those years they don't have a birthday. Well, you can see the Irish Independent newspaper online for more on that story. What else? Here's a good one. Sadie Hawkins and St. Patrick. Do you think they ever met? Well, according to some, legend says that St. Patrick said women can propose to men legally and without fear of retribution on leap day in February during the leap year. And in Ireland, they did just that. They did it on radio, was it? Or was that television? For more, you'll have to take a look at the Irish Independent newspaper online. Hey, here, good old Ronan Tynan. He's a good one, folks. He's going to be appearing in Carnegie Hall, and I think he deserves that honor. And that'll be on Thursday, March the 13th. And that amazing Irish tenor, he comes to Manhattan at Carnegie Hall, and he's going to perform It's a Great Night for the Irish. Take a look at the Irish Voice newspaper online for more on that. Oh, and here's one that's close to my heart. The Father Ted Festival. Kilfenora, County Clare marks the spot where the second Father Ted Festival, which runs for a week and then it moves off to Innismore off the coast of Galway, to its conclusion, I assume. And that festival was inspired by a fictional TV show that aired from 1993 to 1998. There was also a Father Jack, a Father Dougal, and Mrs. Doyle. And the locals there served as extras in the shows, and the people are now showing up from all across the globe to mark the memory of the program. Now, I just think I might have seen one or two excerpts on that. I'm not sure, so I'm not going to comment. I don't know if the show was good or bad or sacrilegious or funny. We'll leave that to others to figure out. But boy, right there in Kilfenora, just a little wink and a nod there in at the crossroads. I'll be doggoned. And we've got time for what? One more here. Daniel Day-Lewis named the best actor. Well, Daniel Day-Lewis, who's a resident of County Wicklow, he won the best Oscar for his role, the best actor Oscar for his role in There Will Be Blood. That's supposed to be a good movie. I'm going to see that in a week or two. I'm a little behind times, but that's okay. Now, those who watched or cared about the awards will note that there were several Irish who won awards that night, so I tell you, the Irish have sure made it, and it's getting bigger all the time. Well, let me see. I can only think of one other thing here. We've got some plans for members. We're going to zip up the old web page. I got a lot of stuff to do, but not enough hands and time to do it. But my webmaster's sure helping out, and we're going to try have a little online community where you can check in. All the members will have their accounts there. You'll even be able to use a picture of a shamrock or a picture of yourself or what have you, and you'll be able to visit with other members online. And no, it's not a dating service. This is for genealogy, history, maybe some song. At least we're going to give it a try. You never know till you try it. But that should start coming out in the next couple of weeks, and we'll be playing with it. So all you members out there, be sure to check in and see if that's up and operational in the next week or two. And be sure to go ahead and chime in and sign up, get your official little name, and pick the picture you want to use up. If you want to use a picture, you don't have to, but that makes it more fun. And we'll also have a place in there where you can list your family search and maybe your favorite Irish song or your favorite Irish movie if you want to list that too. But it'll allow you to share things with other members and maybe get some information that you wouldn't get otherwise, because when you can sit and talk with somebody and feel like you know them, the information flows more freely. So I'll appreciate your help in trying to launch that and getting it to work. It's free to members, so I think it'll be a lot of fun. Let's see. Remember to send me your books, music, or family search right here at the Irish Roots Cafe. Send it by mail or email to our American address at the Irish Roots Cafe, Box 7575, Kansas City, Missouri 64116. Leave your message or report on things in your part of the world on my phone recorder at 816-256-3360 or Skype me at McTheBridge. Members foot the bill, so they get first priority, but we're open to all. And by the way, a big thank you for all of our members. Up and away.